Alright guys, we're doing this again for the third time because we're having technical difficulties and my phone is not the best. But you know who is the best in 4A Region 5?
Cherokee County.
I didn't say it.
You set me up for that one.
You're welcome.
Let me rephrase. Cherokee County beat Jacksonville tonight 35-21, and that gives them the Region 5 championship, which is their first region championship since 2009, which is the year they won the state championship.
Right.
But Jacksonville played really well. Actually, in the first half outplayed Cherokee County and held that high-flying Cherokee County offense to just 7 points, and then a late interception with 35 seconds left to go in the first half by Cortez Henderson, and then pick six, returned it to tie the game 14-14. And then the third quarter was close, and then the fourth quarter, Tyron Dupree, 3 rushing touchdowns, some big plays. The first time I got to see him play, and he's as good as advertised.
Oh yeah, I feel like if somebody gets a hold of him, college football wise, they're gonna get a stud.
Yeah, he's big, he's tall, throws the ball well, and he's a real nice guy too.
Oh
so
yeah,
that helps.
Speaking of nice guys, Frank Tucker and Alexandria, they're unfortunately on the outside looking in when it comes to playoffs. They needed to win the night, they did, but they needed help, and they didn't get it because, well, Arab was being rude to them.
Yeah.
Arab needed to beat Gunnersville. Arab had a chance to do it. They didn't, so Gunnersville's in. Alexandria's out. And then somebody else that's in tonight by winning is Weaver. They blanked Pleasant Valley 40-0. They become the 4 because of Welborn dropping to Randolph County.
Yeah, lost to Heartbreaker in overtime. Randolph County, Welborn led early, and then got it into overtime, and then Randolph County went for 2 for the win, and it seems like it was successful.
Yeah. Ohatchee bounces back with a third 3-point win after dropping to Piedmont last week. The Indians are primed and ready to go for the playoffs. They'll be hosting, I want to say Locust Fort. I could be wrong. Holly Pond, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're maybe in that Colburn County could meet them in the second round. So that's kind of that could be tough on Ohatchee. But Anniston picked up a big win over Aniana. It's just their second win of the year. So
is it their second or was it their first?
No, it's their second. They beat White Plains.
That's right. Speaking of beating people, Sachs beat Hoax Bluff tonight 34-28. It's where I was at. LaDerrick Bell went for 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half before Hoax Bluff bounced back, and Rodney Reddick had to carry them for 2 rushing touchdowns in the second half before batting down a Hail Mary attempt in the final seconds. Sachs tried to run out the final 4 minutes of this game. LaDerrick Bell threw a pass, and it clanked off the uprights with 0.3 seconds left, so Hoax Bluff had one chance. I was like, oh my God, this could happen. But anyways, speaking of what did happen, Cedar Bluff beating Spring Garden in I think a top 10 matchup, 29-24. The Tigers were state finalists last year. They've dropped a couple games this year, but this was really a big statement for those guys up there in the Bluff. Of the Cedar Con. Asheville beats White Plains 35-21, leads over Munford 49-25, and how did Heflin do?
They lost a close one to Sylacauga. They were kind of on the outside looking in the playoffs, but a win kept them in. Kept them with a shot, and they lost. So Cleveland County won't be making playoffs this year.
Speaking of 2 teams that did lose tonight, Piedmont and Oxford, it's not going to go down in the stat column, but they did lose the bye week because the bye week's undefeated. And speaking of undefeated, we're done here.